everybody, James here, and I'll be your trainer for today. We're going to be doing a quick refresher course on Boolean logic. So, our objectives for this course: understanding as to what Boolean logic is, how to use the common Boolean operators such as and, or, not, quotation marks, and brackets or parentheses, as well as how Boolean can be used in different job words. First and foremost, what is Boolean logic? Well, Boolean logic is defined as the use of words and phrases such as and, or, and not in search tools to get the most related results. Basically, it's providing structure to what you're looking for. Let's talk about those Boolean operators. Starting with and. The AND operator is used when you want to include two or more search criteria. It's generally used to narrow search results by adding an extra variable that must be present in the search result. For example, if you were looking for both Java and Spring, you would want to put the term and in between them. That means that both of these items are requirements for your search. If either one of them do not appear on the profile or on the resume or whatever else you're looking for, then that particular item will not show up in your search results. So using this example here on the screen, we'll only get results that have both Java and Spring. The next commonly used operator is OR. Using OR in your search string indicates that you want to see multiple entries or variables in your results. The operator acts to expand your search results to include a wider range of information. OR can also be used when different words or job titles say the same thing and can be used alongside and in order to refine your results. For example, let's say you're looking for a tester. Now they could put tester or testing on their profile. By including both of them using the OR statement, you are broadening your search so that you're including those candidates who use testing and those candidates who use tester. Another example would be for human resources. Human resources could be spelled out all as human and resources, or it could be shortened as HR. Depending on the person's profile, they could use one, both. We wouldn't be able to tell. So because people would write them in different ways, we want to include both of them so we can have maximum inclusion when we do our searches. OR is also very good at finding the hidden talent. The next operator that we're going to tackle is not. As you probably guessed, not is when you want to exclude specific terms or requirements. For example, let's say you're looking for an architect. If you were to type in architect in your search, you may get results for a software architect. But an architect and a software architect are not quite the same things. So in order to exclude those results, you would put not in front. Now you may notice as well we have quotation marks on software architect. We'll get to that in a minute. Focusing on not, this search here, for our example, architect, not software architect, would give you results that contain just the word architect, but would remove or omit any of the words or any of the results that have that specific phrase, software architect. Going back to those quotation marks. The next basic Boolean operator, and one you'll likely use often, is quotations. This operator is used when you want to search for an exact phrase that you're looking for. This is a good option if you want to know, or if you know exactly what search result you're hoping to find, and you want to exclude anything that doesn't include that term. So for example, software architect, that is two words. Now, if you want to exclude, or if you want to search for that specific phrase, you would put quotations over software architect. Basically, any phrase or that is two or more words, you would want to use the quotation marks if you are looking for that exact phrase. Now be careful. If you have longer phrases that you are specifically looking for, you may exclude a lot of results because your search is too specific. For example, if you were looking for a director of sales and marketing and you put all of that in quotations, you would exclude a director of marketing and sales because it's not exactly the same thing. So use quotations carefully. Next, we have the brackets or parentheses. Now, brackets in Boolean search work in a similar way as the BODMAS or the PEMDAS principle in math, which dictates which parts of an equation are calculated in what order. Bracket operators are used to specify which parts of the search take priority over other elements. They specify which sections you want to emphasize, compare, or exclude. It provides further structure to when you are writing your Boolean strings. Now, whenever you are putting items inside parentheses or brackets, you want to make sure those items are under the same category. Now, that could be job titles, it could be industry, it could be specific type of software. As long as they fit within a comparable category, then you could put them within the parentheses. Now let's see how that would look like using a practical example. Let's say we have some actors. Let's say Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, perhaps The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We'll put all of them under actors. Over here under singers, we can go with Bruno Mars. Let's say Taylor Swift. Who else can we put? We can go with Ludacris, for all of you rap fans. Now let's combine the two. Here in the middle, we could put Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, let's say Selena Gomez. Now, if we were to use the operator and actors and singers, which one of the different groups do you think would come up? If you said this one here in the middle, you would be absolutely correct. Actors and singers. Only the group where the Venn diagram comes together, which includes Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, and Selena Gomez, would be included in your search because they have all of the criteria that you're looking for. They are both actors and singers. Similarly, if we use the Boolean operator or, don't mind my drawing, if we use the Boolean operator or in between, what do you think is going to come up in our search? If you said everything, you'd absolutely be correct. So, we're looking for actors or singers. Could be either one. As long as one of those criteria are ticked off, then they will show up in the search. All of the 9 individuals that are listed tick off at least one of the criteria that we are looking for. Therefore, everyone would show up in our search. Lastly, we have the operator not. So, if we're looking for actors, not singers, who do you think is going to come up? If you said only Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and The Rock, you'd be absolutely correct. We are excluding those who are singers from our search. Now, while Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, and Selena Gomez are all actors, they are also singers, so they would be excluded from our results. So, going back over here, if the query is singer and actor, that means we only want groups that have only singers and actors. Similarly, if we use the query singer or actor, we're looking for a wider group. We want results that have actors or singers. As long as one of those criteria are ticked off, think of it like a checkbox, just need one, then they will appear in our search. Now, if we're looking for singer, not actor, that means we only want results that have only singer, excluding the actors. And on the flip side, if we were looking for actor, not singer, only want results that have actor, excluding the singers, like we saw earlier. So, looking at the different operators, when we use the Boolean operator and, it will narrow our search results because there are more criteria that need to be met in order for an item to show up in the search population. So if we're using our checkbox analogy, more boxes need to be ticked in order for a candidate or an item to show up in your search. On the flip side, if we use the operator or, it will broaden or grow your search population, because all you need is just one of any of the criteria that you string together with the or operator to be present in order for that person or that candidate or that item to show up in your search result. Easy way to remember it is or equals more. And lastly, when we use the operator not, we again shrink our search population. Because we are excluding certain results, therefore we have a smaller population. Now, let's look at a practical example. Let's say that you are looking for a HighConnects technical recruiter. If you were to type in HighConnects technical recruiter, you may get about 128 results. Now, without using any operators, the system will automatically read it as if you put and in between those different words. However, because it's just HighConnects technical recruiter, it's just looking for those key phrases. They could be anywhere on the profile. But we're not looking for just anything in particular. We're looking for a technical recruiter. So to be specific, we can add quotation marks. As you can see, by adding the quotation marks, we go down from 128 to 42 results, making our search much more specific. Now, if we wanted to hone in a little bit more, we can add to this. Let's say we want someone who has experience using Workday. So if we use the operator and Workday, we go from 42 results down to 12, because now there are more criteria that need to be met in order for someone to show up in our search result. Let's further refine. Let's say we don't want anybody who is a senior or a senior level candidate. So we can add the operator not to exclude those who have senior in their profile. As you can see, with our basic search, we started with 128, and we worked our way down to a very targeted group of 6, which is a lot more close to what we are looking for potential requisitions. Now, it can work in the reverse as well. Let's say, for example, we try looking for a senior Java developer. If you use these different key phrases such as Java and Oracle and Hibernate and Kafka and Spring Boot, JavaScript and React.js, you could get potentially 45 results. However, remember, candidates are human. They could be indicating these different tools in different ways on their profile. So if there are any alternatives, you want to put them together using the OR operator. So, as you can see, we can expand this using Spring Boot or Spring Space Boot, and JavaScript or Java Space Script or Java Dash Script, accounting for the different ways that people could put this on their profile. Again, candidates are human, so you want to make sure that you include all of the different variations so you don't miss out on any potential candidates just because they wrote it in a different way that you were thinking. That's it for me today. If you have any questions about Boolean, feel free to reach out to the training department and we'd be happy to help. Have a great day.